Hey, thank you all for giving me some time to talk with you today. Apologies for not being able to be live. Things always are a bit busy sometimes, and adjusting the times and everything has been a little bit challenging for this event specifically. So, thank you again for giving me the time. So, my name is Majed Al-Amin. I'm the head of 5G and Edge Solutions at Google. What does that mean? It actually means that I work with telecom operators around the globe for focusing on their 5G network transformation, but also on monetization of their 5G assets and working on the edge side of their setup and locations and networks to be able to monetize it and deliver value to their customers. But it also means that I work with with their customers directly, with the industries, where 5G is starting to play a bigger role, and the edge computing is a major value proposition within the 5G ecosystem. So, talking about industries like automotive, like healthcare, retail, manufacturing, logistics, supply chain, etc., etc., and looking at use cases that deliver value to those industries specifically. So that's basically a high level of what I do and what my team does around the world within this context. What I wanted to share today with you is this approach of why 5G for businesses is becoming a thing that regardless of the hype in the past 5-6 years. I'm talking about today's challenges and today's advancements in this technology, and where really it is showing big value. So, first of all, to take it at a higher level, we really believe that 5G is not just the next generation of wireless technology. So it's not just an extra G on top of 4G. The main reason for that is, as you would expect, 4G was delivered or fulfilled through a technology called LTE, which is long-term evolution, which means that it should be a long-term solution for whatever it was solving, and it was solving specifically the broadband expectations on mobile services. So the ability to deliver a broadband capability on devices. So I don't think 5G is competing with that. It's basically adding new elements that are missing from that technology altogether, and that's why it makes it something of an interest to businesses. Those other areas that are missing from 4G is mainly ultra low latency and ultra reliability, or the ability to really make sure that there is a reliability in the connection, etc. So we'll talk a little bit about this, but at the core of solving for that problem, the edge computing becomes a big value proposition here. So when you talk about low latency, it's not a magic where 4G becomes 5G and then suddenly the latency drops down. It's there's a bigger component around running the network at the edge, running the application and the network capabilities on an edge stack closer to the user. That's where the latency comes from. And it makes no sense to run an application at the edge while the connectivity is going through the centralized network, because ultimately the latency will suffer. So basically you have to run both on the edge, and this is where really the value proposition here is to cloudify the network and enable it to become a microservices approach where you can run the network functions and the application at the edge, side by side or within the same stack. This is where the ultra low latency gets resolved. And then on the reliability issue, you can also imagine how running a private type of network or a network in a box along with an application gives it way more reliability than relying on just a public approach of the network. We can talk a little bit about slicing and others, but I think those are things that can be solved in the future. But ultimately, the reason you'd hear edge computing and 5G coming hand in hand is to really add those value propositions to the market, basically to industries and use cases that require latency and reliability. And if you remember the industries I just mentioned, it starts to make more sense that reliability is needed for automotive and healthcare and others, and low latency is needed for automation and robotics and all the other areas. So this all comes hand in hand to deliver this value. So that's the 5 minutes that I just wanted to share with you, and I'm really excited to have such events being discussed. And I know that I'm just touching a specific point that will be double clicked on many other domains and areas in the future. So looking forward to all of those things, and have a great day. Thank you so much.